Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more Mass Effect. Well, if you've caught the last episode, you know why we're here. We had a little bit of a bug. The Mako got stuck, and by stuck I mean it wasn't able to move, it wasn't able to jump. We somehow must have clipped into the ground, so we had to call the episode where we did. So either way, we're going to go ahead and go back down. We'll bring Tali along, and I think we'll also bring... let's bring... Wait a second, I'm trying to remember. Let's bring... Actually, no, hang on a second. Maybe it was Garrison Kaidan? Yeah, I think Garrison Kaidan was the combo that we had brought, so we will... Yeah, we'll continue that for now. Alright, so, either way, we are, we're landing back on the planet. We've already gone ahead and dealt with some of the biotics. There's a whole bunch of crazy people, specifically biotics, who are doing some silly things, and basically we're trying to protect some scientists and whatever else, but they are adamant that they want to do what they want to do. Alright, so we've already checked this research facility. We checked out the anomaly, which was a Prothean pyramid, so I believe we're heading over here. I could be wrong. Yes, because originally we went up to the deposit when we saw it at the very beginning, as I wasn't sure if that would be something we could find again nice and easily. But either way, off we go. We've almost made it. They should have a turret or two in the way, but again, nothing that we cannot handle. After all, the Mako is a very powerful beastie of a vehicle. So there we have it. No real danger there. Let's slam on the brakes, jump on out, and then let's head on into the building. Alright, so, weapon-wise, what have we got? We have... Oh, hang on a second.
Rally round!
Yeah, rally around us. We have some dampening, some neural shocks, stuff like that. Actually, I don't think we had Kaidan. I think we might have brought Rex in the last one, but either way, it is what it is. I may have had a meal in between episodes, so I can't quite, remember everything exactly as I left it. But either way, it's close enough. We'll be fine. Oh, actually, one more thought. Let's just double check. Kaidan, we upgraded all of your weapons. Actually, I suppose we should probably give you... Actually, no, we don't need to give you the shotgun. You've got the assault rifle. That should be fine. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. We could upgrade to 330, and I suppose we should. Any damage upgrades should be nice. And then I think that's about everything that we needed. Alright, that'll be all good. Let's go ahead and kick down the door and see what's going on. Alright, so looks like from some arachni, they've now got some husks hanging around. Let's go ahead and... do we create some trouble, or do we just go ahead and take out the soldiers one at a time? You know what, let's deal with the soldiers first. Part of me does want to release the husks upon them, but at the same time too, it could be just a little bit more easy for us to, gain a little bit of extra XP by basically taking our shots at everyone we want. Alright, let's go ahead and throw some dampening down there. That should make his life a little bit harder as a biotic. And then... oh. Cerberus Commando? Where are you, bud? Oh, you're on the other side. There's actually two of you. Alright then, well that's fine. We'll go ahead and we will quickly...
Enemies everywhere!
We'll go ahead and let's use a neural shock. That should be fun. And then we'll throw down a sabotage. That should be fine. Yeah, looks like these Cerberus Commandos are not too much of an issue. Alright, diagnostic stations done and done. Let's go ahead and use your stasis, I suppose. And let's go ahead and assassinate. Oh, hang on a second, sorry. They're Thorian creepers, not a husk like I thought. Okay, well I guess, I guess Saren's been busy getting some extra samples of some of these things around. There was no sign of Kahoku among the creeper corpses. He must be at one of the other labs in the area.
I wonder
yes.
what kind of genetic mutant Cerberus has been cooking up at the next base. That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
I'm guessing the guy who blew the lid on Cerberus is why we have... yeah, he must have been taken or something along those lines. But either way, we'll go ahead and we'll take what we've got access to. There's... yeah, that should be fine. And I don't think there should be too much here. But yes, as I said, it looks like Cerberus has been busy picking up some stuff from Saren, making sure that they've got their own samples of things. Why? We don't know, but from what we've gathered, they're not particularly good people, so that is what it is. Alright, technician kit, we'll go ahead and we'll take all of that. Still picking up a bunch of level 9 things. We're probably not too far away from collecting our first 10. Oh, and there it is. Medium armor for our Turian friend. So, let's go ahead and... you know what? Let's heal up Caden. He has technically taken a small hit. Again, nothing too serious. But what we can do is we will go ahead and give Garrus a nice little upgrade. I think... oh no. The armor's actually not better than I thought. I guess we'll drop that. We don't need this one either. That's a bit of a shame. I was honestly hoping for a little bit more. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and head back to the Mako. And we will see what is left. Alright, so let's head up to the final research facility. That should be the last of the locations. But again, we'll see what happens. You never know. With these guys, they could have a hidden base or something like that. They could be rerouting their communications. There's plenty of options. But either way, we'll go ahead and we will zoom across the planet. It does look like we can see some long distance shots there. I don't know whether that actually landed, but you know, you miss all the shots you do not take, so may as well send it with a wing and a prayer, because, well, we've got nothing to lose. Alright, we'll do a little bit of machine gunning. Ba, 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 ba. Looks pretty good. And there we have it. Alright, so that is everybody. Let's go ahead and jump on out. This should be fairly easy for us to clear on out. Hopefully, Kahoku is still okay. Alright. Let's see. Alright, we definitely still have enemies on radar. That's a good and bad sign. Ah, man. Looks like he's already passed. Okay, and these are some of those little Rachni... What do we call them? Little Rachni baby things. Rather annoying little things since they're mostly translucent, but either way. We'll deal with what we've got. Let's throw some... commando, technician, let's throw some dampening. Let's go ahead and... oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and throw you further back. That should be fine. We'll pick up an overkill. We'll see if we can...
online.
Oh, come on. We need something else. Let's go ahead and overload. Come on, Garrett. Caden, we want you to lift everybody. That should be fine. And then... I guess neural dampening should be good. That'll keep them down. It's kind of hard for them to get back up when they're not feeling too good. And then, you know what? Just to make sure that you're safe, you can use this. You can use that. We'll take some cover.
You must die.
Okay, Cerberus sniper. You know what? Stasis. That should be fine. And we'll see if there's any other... oh. Okay, I guess I missed that. That is what it is.
Charging up.
You must die.
Alright, I guess that'll have to be good enough. Alright, let's see. Can we get all of your skills and abilities back? That's fine. You're more or less good. Alright, and wait a second. Where is the button? Diagnostic station. There, we have it. Alright, we'll open that up. Let's go ahead and lift you guys up off the ground. That should make our life a little bit
One last
easier.
stop to make, Commander. We owe Kahoku that much.
Alright, and
I think we're good, Shepard.
let's see if we can collect his body. You check for a pulse but find none. Admiral Kahoku is dead. Despite the ferocity of the creatures he was sealed in with, there are no signs of trauma on his corpse. The needle marks on his arm suggest a different means of execution.
Damn. It's the Admiral.
Cerberus must have tracked him down.
That is a pity. Well, he blew the whistle and, yeah, he let the traitors, to us. So, that is at least... That at least gives us a chance of chasing these guys down. Alright, well, I guess not much else can be done. Nothing else is here to be collected, so let's just go ahead and make our way back to the Mako. Yeah, an unfortunate fate, but who knows, maybe he's put us on the right path where we can, you know, punish those who are at fault. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually, before we go ahead, did we level up? No, we didn't, but we will go ahead and double check some of these things. If there's anything we should hand off to somebody else or upgrade weapons, we will do this. We'll take the pistol upgrade. Sniper rifle, we've got a nice upgrade there too. I suppose that'll work. Let's see, 190, we don't need that. 196 is also fairly weak. 235. Okay, you know, we'll keep that around. Let's see. Anything else? Heavy armors, mediums. I don't think that's going to be helpful. Let's trash the mediums for now. I think everyone else should be fairly happy. Actually, you know what? That is only a little bit less in the way of shielding, but it does have better tech and damage protection. That could be worthwhile. Yeah, otherwise I think maybe we drop... Yeah, look, I think we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of this one. The heavy armor we will keep for now. We might drop these two, but that'll be fine. Let's see. Caden, can you take anything? No, you cannot. We're all good here. Omni tools, we have... Oh, hang on a second. Shield bonus, tech cooldown, med recharge. Interesting choice. I think we'll keep it where it is, though. Let's check in on Garrus, though. Is there anything that's better? All of these are about the same. Okay, so we'll drop those. I think that should be fine. And then let's see, sniper rifles. Anything else that's better? Not really. Okay, well, you know what? That's good enough. Let's just go ahead and head back to the Normandy. And we will we'll figure out where we're flying to next. That said, though, we still haven't checked in with some of our crew. We probably should do so sooner than later. So, yeah, let's go ahead and have a bit of a chat. And we'll see exactly what's going on. Alright, so... let's see, who should we chat to? I guess Caden's always here. Let's go ahead and have a chat with him. We'll see what his thoughts were on Noveria.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
I wasn't speaking to you as my commanding officer, ma'am. I don't want to send any bad signals. Just, working on what I've picked up. You tell me if I'm going too far.
We haven't had much off-duty time to talk. You have an issue with how things are going?
I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. Do you get my meaning?
Talk to me, Caden. You got a little black rain cloud sitting over your head.
I'll try to keep the deck dry. You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified, because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father." Well, I told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to new beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died. The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
So why are you telling me this? Is there something I can do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have without coming to terms with yourself. You also learn that if someone is special to you, you help them. Try to keep them from making mistakes.
Special, huh?
If I'm out of line, just say the word.
You're not out of line, Caden. But there are regs.
I get you, Shepard. I don't make a habit of complicating the chain of command. Just think about what I said.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezi anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I guess we'll be the ones to tell Dr. Tassoni. It's a hell of a thing to drop on her.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
We'll talk later, Caden.
I'd like that.
Okay, cool. Learn a little bit more about Jump Zero and whatever else. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and we'll head down the elevator. I think we'll have a bit of a chat to maybe Garrus as well. We won't go too heavy on all of the conversation right now, but I do think at least checking in with at least one more is a decent idea.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Good thinking. Lackeys are always easier to scare.
Exactly. Though in this case it paid off in a different way. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
All right. Well, you know what? That's a bit of a story there, but I guess that does give us a new mission, which is rather good.
Looking for supplies?
I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and
Let's
see
see
if
what
we've
you've
got
got.
anything worth
You bet,
purchasing. Let's see. Sniper rifles, I guess. Actually, that's not that amazing. 284, I guess that is something that could be worthwhile. We've also got a new assault rifle to max that out. A couple of good options. Let's maybe go ahead and purchase the sniper rifle. We do have a whole heap of money, so I suppose we should try and at least pick something up. So we'll go ahead and we'll buy that one. Let's see, another 360 damage. Heatsink capacity is much better. Accuracy mildly worse. Again, damage is damage. We'll take that too. And then pistol-wise, let's see, 258. Biotic amp, again, nothing good there. That's the same as what we have. We could hand that off to one of our other squad mates. That wouldn't be the worst. But again, I don't think that's particularly necessary. And then what else have we got? Light armor for humans. Yeah, again, actually, you know what? 252. 2. That could actually be good for Caden, potentially. The biotic amp is not a huge deal. Shotgun, we could go ahead and boost that up, but again, it looks like we've got a few more versions of it. So I'm not sure if we'd necessarily want to spend our money there. Yeah, I think we'll go... Alright, so we've just got basic stuff there. Let's see. We have our... Where was it? Our light armor for human, 252 and... Yeah, 26 and 34. Okay. 26, 34, and 252. Let's see if we can find Caden's locker there and see what his current sets are. Yeah, 252, 26, and 34. That would actually be a nice improvement there. Alright then, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll pick up that much better light armor.
Looking for supplies?
Let's
And
see what
that
you got.
That should be one of the ones that we go there. So where is it? Light armor, human, let's just check. Yes, that'll do. Let's go ahead and we'll purchase that. Oh yeah, and let's sell off all of our junk. We have a whole heap of stuff marked. That's now given us a stupid amount of money. That is very nice. So, at least we can afford whatever we're after. It's just a matter of finding what we want. Alright, well, let's make our way back up. I think we should probably see about... what do we need? We might need to head back to the Citadel. I'm not sure if we've got those coordinates just yet for Garrus, but otherwise we will go and do that if we can. So what have we got here? We've got the Destroy Main Cerberus Facility. Okay. So that is in the Columbia system of Voyager cluster. Okay, so Voyager and then Columbia. And then, what is this? Dr. Salion. That is in the Kelper Verge. Okay, you know what? First things first, let's go ahead and we'll deal with Garrus's issue. So the Kelper Verge is where we're going. Actually, hang on a second. Never mind, we already have a mission and it's just a system over. I suppose we may as well get that while we're here. We do want to help out our crew because, again, that is obviously something we want to be, making sure that we're in good terms with them. But at the same time, too, it would be inefficient to have to make our way back here unnecessarily. Alright, so let's go ahead and just double check our asteroids. We'll check the planet. We can go ahead and land here, so that is something we do need to do. But I think we'll just quickly finish scanning. What have we got? Let's survey rare elements, that's nice. And then, what have we got here? Medallions, okay, that's good. Alright, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and land, and after what Cerberus did to the Rear Admiral, we're going to go ahead and, we're going to be, I don't know, not necessarily judge, jury, and executioner, but we will definitely show them why they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Alright, let's bring... You know what? Let's bring Rex and Caden. There we go. I think that's not a bad one. We've got some extra armor to hand to him, and Rex is obviously a fantastic choice for combat, and his biotic abilities will certainly not go astray. That will be rather nice. Alright, let's go ahead and land and see what happens. Alright, so where are we and what do we have to do? Alright, we've got a deposit nearby that's worth noting. We'll go ahead and give Caden the light armor. That should do well. Let's see, are we happy with his current upgrades? Kinetic exoskeleton for mobile accuracy, shields, and recovery, as well as shield recovery and hardening. Maybe we see if we can find a cooldown for his abilities. That could be rather nice. Yeah, 19% extra toxin, extra health regen. That could actually be rather nice there, that medical exoskeleton. Let's chuck that on there, and then that should be a good combo. We'll go ahead and we'll mark that light armor for sale. Do we want to switch out here? Probably not. Sniper rifles, we could go ahead and give that a bit of a boost. Sure, why not? Pistols, anything else worth noting? Not really, but 182 is very low. Shotguns, 260. I suppose that can't hurt. And then assault rifle, let's go ahead and give him that new one there, and we'll double check. What have we got? We have tungsten rounds. You know what? We're going to be firing at, let's see, toxic damage. What do we want? We are fighting people, probably, given that it's Cerberus. Inferno rounds, I think that's probably a decent plan. Yeah, let's just stick with the Inferno rounds. That should be fine. As for Rex, let's go ahead and I think we had a very nice shotgun at 336. I think that is the highest amount of damage we've got. Actually, yeah, we could even mark a few of these to, yeah, be sold. 320 is not the worst. 300 is now no longer, particularly good. Same with 226. And then, what is this? Weapons, shredder rounds. Yep, that'll work. Rail extensions. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just stick with the heat absorption and all. That'll be fine. That's a pretty powerful build. And then, can we upgrade his assault rifle? I'm pretty sure we had one that was, yeah, 330. Let's go ahead and give that to our good old Krogan ally. And then combat scanner, let's boost that to, what is that? Level 7. This is a level 8 and better accuracy, so that'll do. And then a recoil damper instead of 14% stability. Let's go with an extra 5% damage and 20% stability. That should be fine. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let's just double check any of these heavy armors. I'm not seeing anything worth noting. Anything else? Kinetic, medical, that's all good. We'll leave them be. And I think that means we can go ahead and... get back to business. So what have we got? We have an anomaly, the facility, and some debris. Let's go ahead and focus in on the anomaly first, and we will see what we can find. Of course, after we go ahead and collect whatever this deposit is. Alright, let's see. Can we make our way up? It does look like we've got just the right amount of traction. Slowly snaking our way up the mountain. Yeah, here we go. We'll go a little bit further up. Let's go off to the right. Come on now. We're just trying to break that gradient down to a more manageable... angle.
Moving out.
Alright, thorium. I guess that'll do. We still get paid, and we still get XP, so it's not the end of the world. That is rather nice. And now... yeah, let's go ahead and turn around. I think we'll try and go this way. We'll avoid going over the mountain if at all avoidable. It does look like this is actually a much easier path forwards, so yeah. Just because it's the shortest path doesn't necessarily mean that it is the fastest path. Alright, well, let's keep on moving on. We'll keep a weather eye out just in case we do see something in the distance like another deposit. But again, not the end of the world if there isn't anything. But you never know what kind of secrets can be held on these planets. So always good to keep an eye out. Alright, so let's see. Okay, game got a little bit jittery there, but it looks like we're all good. And I think... yeah, I think we should be able to make our way up here. Where are we going? I'm guessing up onto that ridge line there. Let's maybe go over this way. I feel like there is a slightly better path forwards. Yeah, less steep angle. And, well, that obviously means it's a lot faster. Alright. What do we see? Not much yet. Oh, okay, hang on a second. Is that a... Oh, that looks like a mummified Solarian. Wow, okay. There must be something in their biology that makes them much easier to mummify. But either way, this Cerberus soldier has had an identification tag for Captain Varsnith, one of the Solarian soldiers responsible for capturing the League of One. It is unclear how he came into possession of this relic. Huh. Okay, but it does look like there is enemies further up at the underground facility. I suppose we may as well go ahead and make our way there. There is the debris, but that is on the other side, and I don't think it's really that beneficial to make our way around on, though. Hang on a second. This wasn't... Oh, this was not marked, and that looks like a crashed... some kind of debris or some kind of ship that has crash landed. I do wonder whether this is Threshermore territory though, so we'll have that quick save. But this looks like a prime opportunity to get shot at, unfortunately, by one of those beasties. Ah yes, there it is. Alright, just as suspected. Alright, well, let's go ahead and jump over that. We do not want that to get in our way. Alright, we've got some of that. Let's keep an eye on our mini-map. Trying to let it do its thing. Alright, well, we've almost got it. Oh, sensory tentacle. Let's go ahead and break that down. Oh, we could very much take some damage here. Actually, let's hit that boost if we can. Make sure that we, Oh, those things can actually attack us. Huh. The more you know. Yep. Oops. Actually, that's got a lot of health for that Threshermore. Alright, and it does look like we killed the Threshermore. That is very good because we took a lot of damage from those sensory tentacles. I didn't even realize that those things would... Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually been that close to them to be hit before. But either way, where are we at? We have... I guess this is the marker, but I know where we realistically need to be going. Let's go ahead and quickly pull up. We'll jump on out. Alright, well that didn't quite work. Either that or the Threshermore wanted a rather fancy sundial, but I doubt that that's probably what they were there for. But you never can be too sure.
Moving out.
No one truly knows the minds of the monster. But either way, let's go ahead and we'll open up this. Looks like this is going to be quite the choice. We almost managed to get our way through nice and quickly. But either way, we still did that with plenty of time to spare. Medium armor for our Turian ally, that's nice. Metagel, upgrade kits, everything doing quite well. So I'm glad we went ahead and picked up what we found. Do we have anything of note? Oh no, we don't actually have our, we don't have Garrus with us. Huh, okay, for some reason I thought he was. Either way, that's not a big deal. We'll be fine. Alright, let's just double check that there's nothing else on the marker here outside of what we saw. Yeah, alright, so that's all that we need. At this point, maybe it is actually going to be quicker for us to go ahead and visit the debris. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll boost our way over there. And that way we can finish up with Cerberus as the icing on the cake. Alright. What do we see? Actually, you know what? This might be the easiest path over here. We'll avoid going over everything. Use a little bit of our jump jets there. We don't use it particularly often, but sometimes they do have their uses. And then we'll see... Yeah, actually, I think climbing up is an unnecessary decision, but it's fine. Well, we did take a little bit of damage there. That's not the be all and end all. Let's see, what do we find? Alright, something up the top of the hill. Alright, I guess it was too much to ask for that it would be in a relatively easy position for us to gain access to. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll climb up sideways. And it looks like that was the perfect spot to turn. And then... what do we see here? Another crashed probe. Okay. Almost looks like there's a little bit of a crater around it, so it must have been traveling at some speed when it hit. But either way, that's not really our concern. Alright, let's just wait a second. There we go. That is all that we need. Combat exoskeleton 10. Same with our energized plating 9. That will be very, very nice. And I'm glad we picked that up before we head to their underground facility. Alright, so, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll climb to the top of the hill. I'm sure there's going to be some level of snipers and, I don't know, rocketeers and... oh dear, hang on a second. Money is calling. I guess we're going to go ahead and investigate this deposit. I really can't say no to these things. At the end of the day, though, as I said, it's like a good $40,000 every time we survey one. Not to mention it is a solid amount of experience, so it's really... moving out. It's really worth our time. Alright, let's go ahead and survey. And there we have it. Light metal is done. Beryllium. Alright, now, what were we saying? Oh, that's right. We're going to go ahead and find Cerberus. So, let's try not to jump down the mountainside. It does look like we still have pretty good traction, funnily enough. I actually thought this might be a little bit too steep, but we were already somewhat committed, so that is what it is. Alright, and whereabouts are we going? I'm guessing up over there. Alright then, well... I guess we'll make it work. We've taken a little bit of damage, but again, it's not, as I said, it's nothing too severe. At the end of the day, the Mako is a very powerful vehicle, and we've got shields, and I'm guessing if we're fighting people, they'll more or less be, well, our shielding will be more than enough to hold. Alright then, hello there, and goodbye. And then let's do the same thing over here. Yeah, not exactly a wise decision there. Yeah, if I were them, taking cover would probably be advisable. Mind you, I'm not sure where they could really run. But it is what it is. Alright, so, here we go. You know what? I think this is actually where we're going to call things. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll enter the building at the beginning of the next one. We don't know how long it'll take, and who knows what they have down there. So if you do want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.